Hi Stitchy friends, this is Michelle and this is my channel Penny's Daughter Shares, where I talk primarily about cross stitch, but I will talk some quilting and sewing and other kinds of crafty things from time to time. Today is a special treat, I think. It is my 2021 FFO and Finish Parade. For those who aren't familiar with the terminology, FFO simply means a fully finished object. So it will be something that I've cross-stitched and turned into a piece that can be displayed. So I have a few stats written down here that I wanted to share with you. I have a spreadsheet listing out all of my finishes, and so I'll refer to that as I go through. But I wanted to share with you because when I put my spreadsheet together and actually counted up how many things I finished this year, I was really impressed with myself. I had no idea how many I had actually done. So what I have is 43 stitching finishes. So things that I've stitched, not necessarily fully finished, but 43 stitches that I finished. But I like to round that number up a little bit to 46 because that includes 3 items that I fully finished that I actually stitched in 2019. So they've been sitting around for quite a while and not on display. So I thought I should include those in my counts. And let's see here. I have a total of 25 fully finished objects. Like I said, 3 of those came from 2019 stitching finishes. So I'm excited to show you how I'm going to do this. Is I have quite a few things that I have from before I started doing Flosstube, which was in September of 2021 for anyone who's new. And so I have quite a few things, which, by the way, thank you for giving me motivation and inspiration to get more fully finished things done, and so that I could show them to you. So that's one of the reasons I started doing Flosstube. I was hoping it would help inspire me and keep me motivated to get fully finished things done, because I love to stitch. And honestly, if I didn't have to fully finish anything, I would like that, but I also want to be able to look and enjoy my stuff that I've stitched. So thank you for sharing time with me, compliments, comments, discussions, stitch-alongs, anything we've done. Just being involved and paying attention to me a little bit. It's really given me a lot of inspiration. So thank you. And I hope you enjoy seeing what I'm going to show you. And one more detail I wanted to share was, so things I've shared on my Flosstube before, I'm going to go through kind of quickly. It's the stuff that I haven't shared on Flosstube before, or maybe isn't fully finished, and I've only showed you a finish that I may take a little more time with just to tell you what's what. If you have any questions about anything, a chart I show, if I don't give you enough detail or exact detail like I usually do, either leave me a comment below, reach out. My email is listed below, send me an email, or I'm also on Instagram, and you could pop over there, send me a private message, or even look through my Instagram posts. You may find what you were looking for, and it may have your question may be answered, and that may be the quickest way, because I can't answer right away. Sometimes I do, but not always. Depends on what's going on, right? So, okay, I have babbled enough and explained enough, so we're gonna jump in. And the very first one is one I've shared. I, excuse me, stitched this in 2019, and it was a little kit that I bought, and it included the tart pan for the finishing. So this is Creative Needle Arts Spooky Cat. Okay. And here is the finish. Also, I apologize if it takes me a little bit of time here for the coordination for everything. I'm doing it on my own. I tried to keep everything really organized. But when you're on camera and filming yourself, it never goes as quickly as you think it's going to. So yeah, that's how I fully finished it. The instructions were in the kit. The kit contained everything you needed. So that is Spooky Cat. And you can definitely find him on previous Flosstubes. So number 1. Number 2. Okay, we are gonna try not to use the board too much because it just gets in my way. So as I'm filing and trying to keep things in order so that's easier to put away, number 2 is a Mill Hill kit. And I think you can still see that without the board. So Mill Hill kit, it's called Happy Halloween. So that's the front of the kit. Again, this came with everything in it. I showed this one before several times. So there's lots of details, but I fully finished it. So I use this little hanger and I have a little frame that I clip it in. That has a, it's a frame that has a little clip. So yeah, that's number 2. All right, number 3. To start the year out, we're gonna see a lot of Mill Hill kits. Number 3, okay, this one is not a Mill Hill kit. I cannot show you the picture because it's just it's a Dureen Jones freebie chart. It's called Willabella Witch. And if you go to her Facebook page, you can find this really easily. I stitched this in 2019, so I know you have to go back to 2019 at least to find it. But here's my full finish. Hopefully, there you go. So number 3 is Willabella Witch. Again, I shared her earlier on my Flosstube, but I think she is so cute. And for anyone that doesn't remember necessarily, my husband Jeff actually helped me come up with the idea for how to fully finish her. So yeah, so that is number 3. Excuse me. All right, number 4, another Mill Hill kit. This is Log Cabin Quilt. All right, so Mill Hill kits, for anyone that's not fully familiar with them, they come with perforated paper, all the floss you need, all the beads, and they all have like an extra cute button that goes with the design. So, and needles. So you can pick these up, stitch them, and you can buy Mill Hill frames that fit them perfectly. I have not purchased any frames yet, but they're cute. So this one is not fully finished, so you haven't seen it yet. And there is my stitching. This one I finished, I was gonna try to tell, okay, January 18th I finished this one. And to be honest, I think I started it in 2019 and it got put away for a while, and I was like, oh, I started cross stitching again and I pulled this back out. So yeah, Mill Hill Log Cabin Quilt. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 5. Excuse me, I know, I told you, another Mill Hill kit. And this one I know I started in conjunction with the inauguration. I just was feeling the need to stitch in something love at that time. So I pulled this out. So this is Mill Hill Kit again, Valentine Heart. And I finished this one on January 24th. Here is my finish. Again, not fully finished. I need to get to work on a few of these, don't I? Let's see. I put my initials right in the design here where I could squeeze them. Can't be quite as creative with the initials on the Mill Hill kits because of the perforated paper that I can on linen. But yeah, I think this is so pretty. And actually any of these Mill Hill kits like this, my plan for fully finishing will be probably similar to the ones I show you that are fully finished, with kind of that flat finish that I can put on an easel, or I can clip in a, you know, a frame that has a clip in it or something. So, okay, so that was Valentine Heart was number 5. Number 6 is another Mill Hill kit. This is, what is that? Frosty Snowman. Isn't he cute? Okay, well, let me show you the stitch because it's even cuter. Stitched up. So there he is. I just think he is so darn cute. So I need to get him finished or fully finished and get him out right now. So yeah, I really enjoy these. And the reason I have so many is, I don't know if I think I explained this, but I'll explain it again. Either at the very end of 2020 or at the very beginning of 2021, Jeff and I were having a discussion, and I don't even remember exactly how it got started, but essentially what I do remember him saying was, we need to figure out something for you to be doing that brings you some more joy, because I was just feeling like going through the motions and I just wasn't doing anything that made me feel a lot of joy. Last school year, we chose to keep Vivian and Justice, our 2 younger kids, at home and doing virtual school. And so I was their learning coach. I mean, they had teachers and they were online with their teachers a lot on regular schedules, and that was hard on all of us. My kids did great, and not all kids can do great that way. But anyway, it was just, you know, we were in the middle of the pandemic, and we still are, right? Let's face it. But I just need to find some more joy, and I will show you in a second the thing that made me start cross-stitching again. But I had purchased some of these kits, and I probably had them for a year or 2. And so I didn't have a lot of other collection yet. And I just was picking them up and stitching all these Mill Hill kits. So that's why I have so many. So let's see, Frosty Snowman was number 6. Oh, well, so perfect segue into number 7. Because this is a full finish. I have shared this, and so I probably have shared some of my story with you. But this is, sorry, I'm still trying to keep I have all of my charts set up in a basket here upright, and so I can just keep moving them back. And so, okay, so number 7, I know I've showed this before. So I stitched Nordic knitting. Let's see. The designer is Kathleen Berlew, I think is how you pronounce it. So it's in this just cross stitch magazine, February 2021. This is what brought me back into cross stitching. I fell in love with this, and I realized how much joy I always found in cross stitch. So yeah, I love this design. These are not my colors. So I did my own color conversion, which I shared before, and I shared this finish before. So I won't go into all the details. Let me grab my board. Okay, I stitched this and then I fully finished it exactly the way it says in the magazine, like based on their instructions. I just swapped out the colors. So instead of, let's see, they had a red, a blue, a gray, and I think it was white. I used ecru in black, green, my favorite color, and actually I kept the gray, but it may be stitched in different places than the chart called for. So my house is decorated all in a mix of neutrals, and that's what I love. Green is my favorite color, so I chose a green that I loved. So when I planned these colors out, I tried to still be true to the sort of Nordic style of this, and the ecru to me reflects like what I imagine, you know, those heavy cable knit wool sweaters, and I think that all kind of goes together. So yeah, I'm really love this piece, and I especially love it for it bringing me back to my joy of cross stitching. So that's a pretty inspiring piece for me. All right, number 8. Surprise, it's another Mill Hill kit. And you've seen this before. This one is Mill Hill Kit Moonstruck. And I finished the stitching on this one February 20th. Okay, and there it is fully finished. If you've watched previous episodes, you've seen this before. And so green's my favorite color. You'll see that. You will see black cats as a theme in here. We recently lost our Jasper. That's really hard, and I'm going to work really hard not to cry this time if I talk about him. But you'll see plenty of black cats, and you will also see pennies as a theme. And if you've been following with me, you already know all these things. So I hope that you can still enjoy it. All right. So we are on to number 9. So now we are into the things, I mean, obviously the Nordic knitting from the cross stitching or just cross stitch magazine obviously was like this newly purchased started thing for 2021. Well, this is the first thing like that I bought the chart and the floss and everything to actually be able to stitch this year. And this then morphed into a whole lot bigger of plans. So this is Heart in Hand 2021 Collector's Heart. And let's see, anyone familiar with the Collector's Hearts? Those come with called for fabric, and any charms or beads that are included on the design, those also come. So it's a sort of a mini kit. You need to buy the flosses. And I used called for flosses on these. So there's 2 pieces in there. So here's the first piece. It's just nice and little. That's really pretty. Blues don't tend to be my colors. I still think this is pretty, and this was early on, so I was not as bold about making my own color choices. Gosh, and the linens are what was included in the kit. I don't know off the top of my head what they are, and I don't know. Let me see. Maybe I can tell you really quick. Oh, yes, I can. So that one that I just showed you is 32 count vintage country mocha. And the heart itself is going to be stitched on 32 count fawn linen from Picture This Plus. Okay, and here is my finish on that. Isn't it? It's so pretty. Oh, I think the heart is stitched with like, I think it's Tennessee red clay. Now I have to look. Yes, Classic Colorworks Tennessee red clay. It's so pretty, isn't it? Like to be able to stitch all that big solid stitching and see all that variation in the color. I just think that's gorgeous. So this has morphed into something much bigger than an individual thing. So as I explained, 2021 is when I got back to stitching. Well, I found this and I fell in love with it. And then I realized after a bit of research, these go back at least to 2001, maybe 2000. And I fell in love with all of them. So I've been working on collecting them. And what I want to do is I want to do each one of these for the corresponding year in celebration of our wedding anniversaries. We got married in 2000. And I just think they're beautiful. So my goal right now is that for our 25th anniversary, I will have, well, I won't be able to have 25 done because the 2025 one would not come out until our anniversary is in January. So, you know, but so during that year, I can definitely do, you know, finish that last one and figure out how I'm going to put them all together. But I'm thinking a big, putting them all together for like a big wall hanging, and it be, I don't know. I gotta get some more of them done and start putting it together in a plan. So that's what I want to do with those. But that was such a fun stitch. I can't wait to do more of them. Okay, so let's see. That was number 9. Number 10, and I've showed this several times. Teresa Kogut, Snarky Cat. The look on Snarky Cat's face is exactly looks like our Jasper's face. Except our Jasper was a little 10-pound little petite guy. He was not, there was no chubby to him. So that's the only difference. But I just loved this. I love the colors. And this was one of my full finishes. Actually, I think I caught up all of my Halloween, all previous stitching, all became, and new stitching, all became fully finished objects this year for Halloween. So yeah, that's my full finish. This is just one of those signs, you know, that a box sign, and has like a frame there so I could kind of tuck that in. One thing I will say, this was still early on. This is 36 count fabric, and I used two threads of floss over 2 linen threads to stitch this, and it was really hard to stitch that way. I don't use 2 strands of floss on 36 count anymore. But he's still really cute, so I just love it. So that is number 10. All right, so I have on my notes, take a little quick break, and I will come back with the next batch. All right, on to number 11. This is a custom chart that I got on Etsy. The name of the shop is One of a Kind Baby Design. And like I said, it was on Etsy. And you've seen this one before. If you remember right, I talked about it being currently an FFO fail because it's not coming together all the way yet. So, so I still need to, it's just gotten set aside. I think I have plans for how to fix it. So I stitched that on 32 count, like taupe gingham, I think is the name of the color, taupe, I think so. Maybe it's tan, I don't know, but it's gonna look pretty much like this when I finish it. The C I stitched with variegated DMC. I don't remember the color number, but anyway, you've seen that one before. I don't need to bore you with the details again. Okay, number 12. This one I have not showed you before. And okay, let me show you the chart picture. Gosh, I feel like because it's different than how I usually do this. This is from La Di Da. B is for bunny. This is stitched all in DMC, and that's the called for. I love the colors, that they're unusual. I would say, do I want to call them vintagey kind of colors? I don't know. I just fell in love with that. I bought this as a kit from Country Sampler in Wisconsin. So it came with all the called for DMC, so I used that. And I'm not sure what the called for fabric is, but they kitted it up on 36 count winter brew. I believe that's an R&R fabric. And there is my stitch finish. So obviously I need to fully finish this one. You're gonna see a lot of those now. Yeah, this is so beautiful. I love it even more stitched up than I loved seeing the original, you know, the chart picture. What do I want to say about it? Oh, it took me way longer to stitch this than I thought it would. There's a lot more stitching to it, I think, than I realized, but it was really fun to stitch. And I'm pretty sure this chart here is the first time I ever stitched over 1 on a higher count linen. So like I said, this is 36 count. All these little eggs in the basket are over 1. And then I was so ambitious, I put my initials and the date over 1. But it wasn't too bad. I think it turned out really good. So yeah, B is for bunny. I should get that FFO'd so I can put it out this year, right? Okay, so that was number 12. Number 13, I do not have with me in person because it was a birthday gift for my bestie. And I showed it on one of my floss tubes. So here's the chart. It's a Mill Hill Kit Curly Girl design, and it's called On My Left. So that's the chart picture. And I'm going to attempt to put a picture up here. I haven't done that yet in my videos, so we'll see if it works out. I hope it does. just as a reminder, and actually, I think what I'll do is I'll hold up the chart picture in case I can't get that in there, but I could always put it over the top of it. As a reminder, I don't want to put my finger up there, but where there's the white dog, her and I, neither one of us have a dog, and I found a heart that would fit in there, and then I added the year that I was giving it to her, and I added our initials in there too. Or now I'm trying to remember. I think, because see, I'm showing this to you and I don't have it in front of me. Now I can't remember if the initials are in the heart or not, or if they're somewhere else. So maybe you can see them, I don't know. Hopefully I get that picture in here. So yeah, that's number 13 and that's a full finish. All right, number 14 is I'm just trying to make sure I get the names right here as I go through. It's the Serendipity Stitch Along from Fat Quarter Shop. Not too much glare on that. That's not the greatest picture. It's just black and white. I did not stitch with color. I did my own color conversion. Like I said, favorite color is green, and my house is decorated in lots of neutrals. So, and blue's just not my color. I know lots of people love blue, and I can appreciate a lot of blue things, but I don't have blue things. I can't even wear a blue shirt, and you want to know why? This is so silly, but it actually makes me feel blue. Like sad and blue. It's been a long time since I've worn a blue shirt. Oh my gosh, I just snorted. Oh, okay. All right, so here's my finish. Excuse me. I guess snorting makes you cough. I stitched this on, let's see, where's my notes? They're right there. Okay, 32 count chalkboard linen from Holt. And I know there's a lot of you out there that love Holt linen. I learned from this project, I do not. This is stitched 1/2, so 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. I started it 2/2, and I could not get my stitches to look good. So I don't know, I had 2 or 3 of these done. I tore them all out and did 1/2. And I'm happy with it. For some reason, I don't know if it was because I didn't like the fabric, but then I got so far into it that I didn't want to stop stitching it. You know, I wanted to finish it, so that's probably why it's still in the non-finished, fully finished pile. I think it turned out pretty. I have thought about making a large pillow out of it and trying to take like this design in a large quilt square format, and I could put this in the center of it and then mimic this to make the pillow. I don't know. I have also, because I've seen several people take stitches that maybe they didn't like as much, or maybe they want to see them more often, and they turn them into project bags. And I think that's a really awesome idea. And I think this would lend itself to a really nice project bag. So I need to decide. It's on the FFO list for this year. To be honest, I think anything I show you, I would like to get the FFO done this year at some point. So that was the Serendipity Stitch Along with Fat Quarter Shop. That was, what did I say? Number 14. All right, number 15 is I was thinking, I am almost certain that this was my first Blackbird stitch. So Lady Liberty from Blackbird Designs. I finished the stitching, did not do the full finish yet. I will finish it into a drum when I get ready. I don't know, it's just one of those big projects that I just didn't, you know, right? Like sometimes you work on the easier stuff first. Okay, so I used the called for Weeks Dye Works colors. I think that's all that it called for. They were all Weeks Dye Works, and I stitched it on 36 count Winter Brew from R&R. And here is the top. This will be the top of the drum. I messed around with the initials a little bit. I used their design and created back stitch over one for, you know, my first and middle name. And then I stitched out my last name with the C. And I think that I really like that. I don't know, this is so beautiful. I really enjoyed stitching this, and I don't know why I haven't taken the time to fully finish it yet, other than maybe I'm scared, which is silly, but I haven't done a drum yet. So I know, I will watch. I've actually already watched it a couple times, Vanna's tutorial on how to make a drum, and there's instructions in the chart, so I can do it. I just have to make time for it. So, and then here's the outside of the drum. I love the colors. I love this fabric. I think it turned out just beautiful. And it needs to be turned into a drum so that I can look at it all the time. So yeah, that is finish number 15 and my first Blackbird stitch. Blackbird Designs. All right. I don't know why I can't keep the numbers straight in my head. I have to keep looking at my list. Oh boy. Okay. Number 16 is a Lori Holt design. Stitchy Stars. Excuse me. Let's see. I bought the thread pack from the Weeks Dye Works thread pack from Fat Quarter Shop, so I used the called for on that. And I used the called for fabric, which was, well, one of them, there's several, but the 25 count Lugana, what was it? Oatmeal, using the mottled side of it. And I have the finishing board that this shows, but I stitched mine with the plan to hang this vertically rather than horizontally. So I'll just get rid of that rope there on the side to hang it that way. So like I said, I stitched mine to go vertically. Let's see how much I can fit. This was really fun to stitch. I think it's really beautiful, and I need to get it finished, fully finished, so I can hang it up and admire it. So like I said, I love to stitch, and I don't always love to finish, fully finish. So, but yeah, I really like this one. I love the colors. They're such a fun combination. So yeah, okay, that is, I keep saying so okay, and so yeah. Oh, I hope that you're enjoying seeing my stuff. Thank you for letting me share with you. Number 17. I am going to apologize right now for number 17. I'm pretty sure this is out of print and very hard to find. I stumbled on it myself. I had seen it somewhere, someone showed it stitched or something, and I went looking and I happened to stumble on it at a shop. So I apologize. I know that there are people looking for this, but I still want to share it with you because it was one of my finishes. Like I said, it is number 17. So this is my second Blackbird chart. So this is Blackbird Designs America. I used the called for DMC. That's what it calls for, is DMC. I stitched mine on 28 count natural cashel linen. It calls for something I'm not familiar with. I don't remember what it was. Let's see, I'll tell you. 10 count canvas. I didn't want mine to be that big. So, and I did not stitch the word America at the bottom of mine. So there's my finish. Again, this is just beautiful. I love it. I'm not sure how I'm gonna fully finish it, but I need to. But yeah, so that's America from Blackbird Designs. All right, that is, so now we're on to number 18. Okay, sorry. I have everything kind of ironed and straight and I store it all flat, so I just want to keep it from getting wrinkled. All right, so like I said, number 18 is Flea Market Flowers from Holt. With that quarter shop, it calls for DMC colors. I used all the called for colors. I did choose my own fabric. I stitched it on 28 count flax cashel linen. And this is one of my full finishes. Fully finished objects. And you've seen it before at least once, maybe a couple times. So I won't keep it up here forever. Here's my stitching. You can see that. If you're interested in details about how I finished this and such, in my inspiration for my finish, I don't remember which episode it's in, but it's in one of my prior floss tubes. And if there's questions and you can't find your answers, let me know. I'll try to answer if I can. But like I added my initials here, and then I put the year in real small down here. But I remember seeing lots of people who did lots of customizing with these, and everything is so beautiful. So I tried really hard to keep up with the stitch along on this one. And I think I did a pretty good job of it. Hey, this one is fully finished. That is really great in my book. Okay, so that was number 18. Number 19 is an older pattern. I'm gonna say it's probably out of print, I guess. I don't remember where I found it, but this is something I know my mom had. And I know she stitched some portion of one of these reindeer. I have no idea where it is. It was probably a gift because that's most all of her stitching and a lot of her sewing, all of her stuff. Most of it was gifts. And so I have very little of it because the stuff I had that she made is mostly was clothing. So, and you can't appreciate and keep a hold of that stuff always. So anyway, Needle Love Company Reindeer Revival. I stitched this one down here. Let's see, it's called Reindeer / Holly Border. So, like I said, this is really old. Oh, it says right on here, 1984 is the copyright date. The called for colors were DMC. I found fancy floss colors that I liked, but kept in the same idea of what the designer had planned here. And they're all classic color works that I used. I stitched mine on 28 count flax cashel linen. And that's another thing. So you're kind of seeing my progression through like my stitching and stuff this year and what kinds of things I used. And so this natural or flax linen in 28 count, that was my go-to. And honestly, I still love it for most things. So I'm sure there's going to be several more that you're going to see that I stitched on that. But here's my finish. Obviously not fully finished. I did not get any Christmas fully finishes done. I had plans to work on that in December, and that was just a rough month at my house. And so I just stitched because that was my comfort. This was stitched, let's see, when did I finish this one? July 15th. So I just didn't get to the full finish. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. We'll see. I'm sure I'll share it again when I get to the full finish process. But yeah, I'm really happy. I love these colors that I used, and I just think it's so pretty, and it reminds me of my mom a lot because like I said, I remember, I know she stitched some of these reindeer. So let's see, on to the next. That was number 19. Number 20, you have seen, but I'm going to show you again. The Woolly You Midnight Dreamer is the name of this chart. I know it's not on the chart itself. I stitched this. I used the called for colors. I stitched it on 28 count Murky from Picture This Plus, and I stitched it 2/2. I don't think I need my board to show you. And then I fully finished it into a little pillow, and I think it turned out really awesome. This is one of my favorite things. So yeah, what did I say? That's number 20 in my FFO and finish parade. And I know this chart is still available for sure on Etsy, and I think it's the Woolly You themselves that are selling it. So if you like it, you can definitely find that one. All right, number 21 is not a stitch, but I use it for stitching. It is my first project bag that I made. And you're seeing again something about me. Yes, I love 80s hair metal. And Def Leppard's my favorite. One of my other favorite musical singing, I don't know what how you want me to generally say that, is Harry Connick Jr. So How do you equate those two things? You don't. I have really eclectic, wild choices. So I followed Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, her project bag tutorial. I had it up on my computer. I watched it through at least once. And then while I was making this, I would just work on parts. I'd watch a little of the video, pause it, work my way through, and it was seriously like she was in the room with me, which was really awesome. The back is just Def Leppard. The inside, is just this contrast, the black fabric. I have a project in there. You'll see that another time. And then I made a little zipper pull with a hook, and I put a hole in a penny, and I think, yep, I put a 2021 on there because that's when I made it. I'm really proud of this. So I want to make some more project bags, but you know, I only have so many hours in a day. If anyone figures out how to come up with more hours in the day, let me know. I want your secrets. So yeah, so that is number 21. And it is time for me to take a quick break and reset. I'll be right back. All right, we are on to number 22. I thought I'd show you my shirt. All right, number 22. Do not have a chart to show you because it is the Merry and Minty by Brenda Gervais, the freebie. And I'm pretty sure you can still find this on her Facebook page. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. I stitched this using all the called for, and but I stitched it on 28 count cashel linen is what I have written down. So it's either natural or flax. I don't know. I've seen it both ways a couple different ways. So anyway, my go-to. And here is my finish, obviously not fully finished. I don't like to do French knots. I've not been good at them, although I haven't tried them since I came back to cross stitching. I just remember from, you know, a million years ago, and I always struggled with them. So I had leftover beads from a couple of my Mill Hill kits, and I used those, which I think turned out really super cute. And I told Nicola this at Bumble Stitches. She showed hers fully finished in a pillow, and I loved the layout that she had done. And so that is my plan for this. Was my plan in December. Like I said, my Christmas stitching just didn't get any FFO love this year. But it will in 2022. Oh, I said this year, last year, 2021. So yeah, that one's really fun. You will see that again when I work on the FFO process. All right. We are going to be entering a majority of, I think I only have one or two more things to show you that I finished before I started doing Flosstube. So you're gonna see a lot of stuff now that you've seen before. So I'm gonna go through it a little more quickly. And if, like I said already, once or twice or maybe 12 times, I don't know. If you have questions, let me know. I will try to answer them. You can also check my Instagram. Everything is there. I know I've shared all this stuff. Well, maybe not a few of my older stitches, but anything that I've done since I started Flosstube for sure is up on Instagram with details. So let's see. I'm checking my list. I'm at number 23. Plum Street Samplers, Olga's Tart, mostly called for colors. I made some changes because it was a black cat, but the colors that it called for didn't look black to me. So, plus there were some colors I just couldn't find to save my life. So I switched them so I could stitch it, and it's fully finished on this cute little stand. You guys have seen it. I've talked about it in great detail, but it's a parade, so I want to show everything. So yep, that is Olga's Tart Plum Street Samplers. That is my number 23. Number 24. This one I don't think you've seen. Oh, I'll show you the chart picture first. I'll Be Home for Christmas from Flamingo Toes. Now, can I share a little quick story here? I'll Be Home for Christmas was my mom's favorite Christmas song. So anytime I see that, it's kind of like seeing pennies. Like I want to add it to my collection, or black cats. It definitely, and I really loved this. The Flamingo Toes, I love her color combinations and her style. Those are not my typical kinds of colors. So I did do my own floss conversion. My inspiration for that floss conversion, because there's, you know, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors in this. For me to just completely just come up with all of the colors and change them myself, not my usual jam. So I got inspiration from Heartstring Samplery V is for Valentine. I started with her base of colors, which I think there's 4 colors called for in that chart. And then I came up with my own for the others. So it's true in its design. It's just that I swapped all the colors for, let's see, I'll call them more muted farmhouse style colors. No, farmhouse style doesn't really have a lot of colors. What's the word I want to use? Not distressed and not rustic. I don't know. You're probably yelling at me right now saying, Michelle, it's whatever. Yeah, anyway. I stitched this on 28 count whitewashed board from Fabric Flair, but then I sprayed it with Instant Antique from Primitive Gatherings. And I have that big chunk, this extra, because I was fussy about where I wanted this to be stitched at and how I wanted it to look. So let's wrap that around. There is my finished stitch. And I love this. I love how it came out. I love the colors. It needs a full finish. It's just the cutest chart. I think it's so cute. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Every year, the first time I hear the song, it does not matter who is singing it, I cry. Every year. Not to say I don't cry other times I hear it. depends on my activity and my mood, I guess. But anyway, so that's just a lovely thing that when I can get it fully finished and get it out, it's just another reminder of my mom, who loved Christmas, by the way. So I feel like, don't we, most of us say that about our moms? I don't know. Anyway, on to the next. That was number 24. Number 25, you have seen before. The Scarlet House Penny Pumpkin. I bought the kit from Country Sampler in Wisconsin, and I think they made a couple swaps for colors. I don't know if they weren't able to get the called for or they made a design choice. I'm not sure. They, in the kit was 28 count Wren from Picture This Plus, which, side note, I love Picture This Plus Wren, the color. Oh, love it. And I substituted, it called for Gentle Art Pumpkin Patch, and I substituted in Classic Colorworks Copper Penny. I just liked, there's just a slight difference in the color and I liked it, so. And the kit came with the velvet for the backing. I added the trim myself. So that is the Scarlet House Penny Pumpkin, and it is beautiful and gorgeous. I love it. And to be honest, this is one of those things, I don't know that I would have a full finish on this if I wasn't doing Flosstube, and all of your encouragement and excitement and compliments and comments, and so thank you. All right, so let's see. I said that was number 25. Number 26 is the Stitch Along, the Mystery Bats and Booze Stitch Along with Fat Quarter Shop. Again, it's just a black and white picture. I bought the Weeks Dye Works thread pack, so that was the called for thread. I chose to stitch mine on a 25 count Oatmeal Lugana, which is vintage cloth from Lori Holt. And I turned mine into a pillow. I've had it on my Flosstube, so zipper on the back. And obviously I had put it away and had taken out the pillow, so it's just flat. But there's my stitching. I'm not gonna remember the name of the fabric line. My Flosstube that was my Halloween FFO parade. I don't remember. It was Halloween FFOs. I know this was in that episode. So you could definitely get lots of detail about this in there. Again, though, if you have questions, let me know. Like I could easily find the answer to the name of the fabric line if you'd like to know. Just figuring out where to lay this. All right, so that was number 26. Number 27, another Halloween stitch finish, full finish. Teresa Kogut, Witchy Poo. She's so cute. Really quick. Yep, okay. I stitched it all, it's all called for. Here is my full finish. You've seen it before. I have a pedestal frame thing that has a clip. It's like a clipboard on a pedestal. I don't know. And then I hang this from it and it just lays there flat. It looks good. I love her skirt and the variation in her skirt. This is Tim Holt's fabric, Eclectic Elements, but I can't remember the rest of it. I don't know if it was Halloween something. I don't remember. Again, you can ask, or if you look at my Halloween FFOs episode, it will, I know I listed that off. So let's see, where am I at? That was number 27. Number 28 is the Autumn Gathering Sampler from the Friend Stitch. It's not camp. Retreat? Virtual retreat? I think that's what I want to call it. Anyway, from Friend Stitch. Anyway, here's a little picture of it. It's just black and white. Here is my full finish. You've seen this before. 32 count Witchelt Copper Penny is my fabric that I chose. The flosses I used my I used called for. Sorry. Oh, that was hard to get those words out. So yeah, and then they provided the board and the trim, actually all the finishing for this one in our class kit. And I think it's so cute. I really, really like it. So, all right, number 29 is, okay, and I'll preface this. I know lots and lots of people want to get this and it's not readily available. So I apologize for sharing it again. It is Brenda Gervais, Lollies, Crows, and Candy Corn. And that is my full finish. You've seen it before. I stitched it all called for, except I subbed out, I used Anchor White for the ghost, and I used Weeks Dye Works Persimmon for the big pumpkin basket because I wanted it to have a little variation in the color. I stitched this on 36 count Fiber on a Whim. Wheat is the color name. And I love it. So, so cute. Love that it's fully finished. Get to enjoy it. All right. Okay, now we are going to do 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So 30 through 35 all together. Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, Jack-O-Lantern Jubilee. There's the booklet. I did all 6 of them, fully finished all 6 of them. You've seen them, but I'm gonna show you each of them. I mean, I put them away with my Halloween stuff, so they're not in their, I had a trough that I put them in, but so there's one. I'm sorry, I don't know the, excuse me, the individual names of them. They're all in Jack-O-Lantern Jubilee in the booklet. Here is number 2. Sorry, that was 30. Here's 31. Oh, they all have this on the back. This fabric, which is Tim Holt's Eclectic Elements, the Halloween line. And then I made little tags with my initials and the date. So that's 31. 32. 33. $34. And 35. I don't think I said I stitched all the called for. Called for fabric is 40 count Brenda's Brew by R&R. That's what I used. Except I subbed out Anchor White for the ghost and stuff. And all these little pillows are super cute. I just stuffed them with polyfill. So that is 30 through 35. And yep, I was just double checking. That means it's time for another quick break. Let me gather my stuff and I will be right back. All right, we are in the home stretch. We are ready for number 36. This is Brenda Gervais, I Love Fall Most of All. Again, I'm sorry. I should apologize right now because this is another one that I know a lot of people are trying to get a hold of and it's just not that easy to do. So, but it was still a finish and I still want to share it. So let's see. I've showed it to you before though. I've shown you the finish. I don't have it fully finished. It's one of them that just kind of didn't get done yet. I stitched it on using all the called for flosses and I used 40 count Heritage from Picture This Plus. And there is my stitchy finish. I think maybe right there, I guess you can see the color is pretty good. I think this turned out really pretty. It's gonna sort of be framed, sort of, when I get it fully finished. It's on the list. I need to get it done because this is really pretty. And it deserves special treatment. Well, they all deserve special treatment, right? But this one I really, really love. So that was number 36. Number 37. I told you we were in the stretch now. You've seen everything, so it doesn't take quite as long for me to, but I'm out of rhythm here. Because I'm like, oh, no, let me show you the chart picture so you can see what it is. So this is Hilda Boo in Sunflowers 2 from Brenda Gervais. Do you think maybe I like Brenda Gervais? Just a little bit. I saw this shared on Instagram from Southern Stitchers Co. She put up her finish and she had dyed fabric herself and had it in her shop, and I contacted her immediately and I said, do you have any of that you would, you know, kit up the chart and stuff, because I've been thinking about it. And I was lucky. She said, yes, I do. And yes, I can kit it up for you. So anyway, excuse me. There is my full finish. You have seen this before. Just a black frame, some Priscilla's pretty plaids in the background there. This is attached with magnets. I lace the back when I have a flat sort of finish like this, I guess. So yeah, this, really happy with it. The purple's not my normal thing, but something about this one, I just love it. I think it's so cute. And look at her little shoes. They're so cute. So yeah, this one's really pretty. Almost sad to put it away. And as I'm looking at it, I can see that it was put away in the, okay, here. There we go. Now it's a little more centered. I'm sorry. I'm particular like that. So, okay. That was, what'd I say, 37. 38 is all the trimmings mystery sale with Fat Quarter Shop. I purchased the Weeks Dye Works thread pack. So called for mostly. I then added some DMC metallic silver. You can see this on a previous episode. I won't bore you with all of it, but so I made a few little minor changes and mixed it up a little. I stitched this on 32 count Witchelt copper penny. And I'm not sure, that doesn't seem like it's showing up as green as it is. But I think this turned out really pretty. And I'm sure I've talked about some FFO ideas I had for it. I don't even remember what they were. Pillow, maybe? But I think it turned out really cute. The stockings are just adorable. Plain and simple. The stockings are adorable. All right, so that was 38, 39. One of my favorite things. I mean, I honestly, there's not too much in here that I don't absolutely love. Isn't that great? Oh, I think that's great. So this though, oh, love. 2 Pumpkins Bright from Hello from Liz Matthews. I stitched it using called for colors and used 40 count Grandpa's sleeve from XJU Design. I think this is when I figured out how much I love XJU Design linen. So here is my full finish. This pumpkin is from Hobby Lobby and it came with the like burlap edging, the colors, the way it's painted and everything. I added this black strip of fabric, this plaid piece of fabric, and then this piece of twine that made a bow. But like, I can see it. Okay, like this curly Q and these like goldish color leaves, those are all part of the pumpkin. That I doubt they have these now, but next year maybe they'll come out again. I guess I'm still learning about this stuff, and it seems though that they tend to come out with either same things again or similar. So I just think this turned out amazing. I loved the stitch. I loved stitching it. I loved the linen. I loved the trim I picked. I love how I finished it. I love it on this pumpkin. The only thing I didn't love, I didn't get to have it out very long. So it'll just be that much more fun when I get to pull it out next year. So yeah, that is definitely one of my tops for the year. So that was number 39. We are on to number 40. And I know you've seen this several times. Number 40 is Little House Needleworks October's Party. I stitched mine on 40 count brown sugar by Fiber on a Whim. and I used the called for flosses. So 2 Pumpkins Bright, I said how much I learned that I love XJU design linen. It's awesome. But I also love Fiber on a Whim linens. I've stitched on them multiple times this year. Excuse me. And I love their colors. And they're just really nice. So I want to make sure and give equal to things I love. So yeah, this is my finish. Obviously, I framed it up. I didn't love this frame when it arrived, like I thought I would. But now that I have it all put together, I'm really happy with it. And I think it looks really pretty. Stitched it mostly in honor of my mom. So her birthday was October. And I did not put this away. This sits on an easel in my shelves in my great room. And so I see it all the time. It turned out beautiful. I really, really like it. So this is definitely at the top of my list too. So I don't know if I can continue to say that if I keep saying it over and over again. They're at the top of my list. Oh. But if you've been following along with me, you know I get excited about everything. Well, not everything, but when I'm excited about things, I just am. And that's, I think, how I end up choosing a lot of things, right? I'm excited with them. I love them. So that's why I like it. Okay. Where do we leave off? So on to number 41, just a second, please. Ooh, had a big tickle in my throat. Okay. So I say number 41. Okay. Chart first, please. Yes. Fall into Autumn from Jeanette Douglas Designs. My first time stitching Jeanette Douglas, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And definitely first time doing these specialty stitches and had a blast with it. Love how they turned out. I used called for flosses. I stitched this on 32 count, excuse me, 32 count Zweigart gray gingham. Sometimes it's called barn check. I don't know. It's gray, the gray, and 32 count. And I sprayed it with Instant Antique by Primitive Gatherings, and I stitched it 2/2. I've showed this to you, so I won't go into too much detail. But yeah, aren't those stitches really, they're so pretty. So I am working my way through all 4 of these, and I plan on making them all into pillows, little pillows with either trim down at the bottom or another fabric to make them more of a rectangle, a portrait orientation rectangle, so that when I have them displayed, I can see all my stitching really well. So they may not get fully finished until I have all 4 of them stitched, I think, because I might just do them all at one time. So yeah, I really love this one too. I think I would probably love it more if it was fully finished. You know, isn't that one of the reasons that some of it's so exciting? yeah, anything else I'm showing you are just finished stitches. I don't have any more full finishes. Which, like I said, that was not my plans for the year, but it's just the way life worked out this time. So let's see, that was number 41. Number 42 is Teresa Kogut Snow Penny. I stitched this on the called for linen using called for colors, except I substituted for the Snowman. What did it call for? Weeks Dye Works light khaki, and my light khaki just, it was more khaki than white. So I didn't like it for the Snowman. So I ended up using Classic Colorworks eggshell for the Snowman. And I think he turned out really cute. You guys have seen him. So I really love the colors in this. I really like my stitching. As for the full finish, I think I've said I have no idea. I still have no idea. So again, I'm gonna like him a whole lot more once I can get him full finish. I'll get there. So yeah, that was number 42. Number 43. Cozy into Winter from Jeanette Douglas. And when I saw the picture of this one, Fall into Autumn, that's what made me start on these. I fell in love with the pumpkin on it in the picture. And then I saw this one, I was like, well, I'll start by stitching that one. And once I started stitching it, I knew I had to have this one. Because it's just, I love it. I used the same 32 count gray gingham. So I got, excuse me, sprayed it with the antique spray. I'm going to do that for all 4 of them. And called for floss colors. And again, beautiful specialty stitches. They're so fun. They take long time, I think, compared to regular X's, but it's worth the extra time because they turn out so pretty. And it's fun. It's fun to do something a little different, right? So yeah, that was number 43. Ooh, we're getting really close to the end now. And you just recently saw most of these, or these last few, I should say. Number 44, I don't have a chart or a chart picture. I just have the chart because it was a freebie from my local needlework shop. You know, they do every month with purchases. And it's Blackbird Designs, Peace on Earth. I used called for colors, except it called for Weeks Dye Works Fawn, and I substituted Weeks Dye Works Grits for, you know, these like snowflakes. I feel like, oh, and that, I think that's the only place that's used. Fawn, I wanted it a little brighter, and I don't know that fawn would have showed up on my fabric choice, which is the gorgeous 40 count Brea from Needle and Flax. And I know I've talked about that but it has like this pink undertone in it in the modeling and stuff, and it looks fantastic. fantastic with these floss colors. So I really want to frame this because I didn't know how much I was going to love this when I started stitching it. I love it so much. Now that I got it done, I almost feel like I've been bitten by the Blackbird bug, like from this one. Not that I didn't like Blackbird before, but to me, this is a very typical sort of style of Blackbird Designs, right? And not, like I said, not that I didn't like them before, but it was never like, oh, I have to stitch that. And now that I stitched this one and it turned out so pretty, and that's the best word I can use for it. It's pretty. And now I feel like, yes, I was bitten by the bug and I want to do more Blackbird Designs in these colors that I normally, you know, some of them, sure, I'll stitch up with, but some of them I'm like, really, that color? And it turns out so beautiful. So anyway, it's another one of my favorites. And because I like it so much and it's so pretty, I want to frame it. But I kind of have a pretty particular idea of a frame that I want for it, and I haven't found that yet. So yeah, so I'm not sure when I'm going to find that. But also, I'm trying not to, if you remember from my last Flosstube, I'm trying to maintain a spending freeze. And so some of these projects that are kind of outstanding in terms of the full finish, if I don't have the supplies for it, and I've dug through, I have, you know, some stuff that I've collected over time that I'm planning to use for full finishes, and nothing that I have is quite right for that. Like the square ones that are almost frames or such are not the right size. They're a little big, or they're a little small. There's no Goldilocks just right. So anyway, that's something I just need to do some more looking for until I find what I want for it. All right, number 45. And this one originally probably was not intended to be a finish within 2021, but then once our Jasper was so sick, I was like, nope, that has to be stitched right now. So, oh, I didn't even show you the chart, did I? So the Blue Flower Cozy Christmas Cat, this just came out recently. I did change the colors. The only called for color that I used is the Snowball, Classic Colorworks Snowball for the Snowman. Everything else I changed, but kept true to the design integrity, but chose my own colors from stuff I had in my collection. I stitched this on the gorgeous 40 count Brea from Needle and Flax. And this is just, I'm going to turn it into an ornament for our Jasper. But I'm going to keep it fairly neutral, not too Christmassy, because to be honest, it's going to be out in our house for quite a while. I don't know when I'll ever want to put it away. So I think this turned out really cute. You know, I stitched this extra piece for, I'm going to put on the back of the ornament when I finish it and put it together. And I want to get this fully finished. It's heavy on my heart right now, and I don't know. I'm still finding a lot of comfort in just stitching. And so I have full plans, all planned out, exactly what I know exactly what I want to do with it. It's just, it's heavy right now, and I need a little time before I'm ready. And it's just gonna hit me one day like, oh, let's go put that together so that we can hang it up and have it out always. So, all right, my final finish of 2021. And let me get it ready here. I just shared it with you, my last Flosstube, so excuse me. Rocking Horse Holiday from Artful Offerings. Saw a picture of this online when I was looking for something else, and I was like, yes, please. Like I had to have it. And I think I told you before, this is the first project that, now, and a lot of times I don't necessarily get the fabric and the floss and the chart all at once. This one I did. It arrived on whatever day it was, I don't remember. When it arrived, I started it that night. This is the only thing I've ever done that with. Usually I gotta put things together, I don't know, whatever. So, love it. I stitched it on the called for Picture This Plus Ale, but I think they called for a different count. I used 40 count. And not the called for colors. The black and the white, I know the white is called parchment and the black is called onyx. Are those Gentle Arts? Yes, okay. So it called for all Gentle Arts. I didn't love the red they had chosen or the green. And so I chose what I liked. It just so happened I chose Classic Colorworks Holly and Classic Colorworks Mistletoe for the red and green. The brown, let me bet, I don't know if I'm covering up my voice. And then for the brown, I had Forbidden Fiber Co. Old Penny, and it was the perfect choice for me. I just think it is so beautiful. And I have ordered a frame for this one. I'm gonna frame it. I may need to add a piece of trim or something to balance out in the frame, depending on how it looks when I get it here. But yep, maybe you're gonna see the full finish on this soon. I don't want to commit to anything. But yeah, isn't that beautiful? And if you look at the stitch count on this one, let's see. Stitch count is 265 by 136. So if you look at that, you go, that is a big chart. But then there's a lot of negative space in there. I would still say, at least some parts of this felt like it took longer than I had expected. But it was worth every stitch, every minute that it took me. So that's it. That is a wrap. 46 is my final number. 43 of those were stitched this year. Last year. I keep forgetting we're 2022 now. I hope you enjoyed seeing these things, especially the ones that you've seen multiple times. Like I said, if you have questions or want some additional information on anything, please let me know. I will do my best to answer. And I think I'm just trying to go through my brain really quick here if I can just wrap up, and I think I can. I will be seeing you soon.